love a good queue in Britain. We invented queuing, but this is on another level. There's hardly any order or management going on here.
I had heard was that there is no freedom of speech in China, in that everything is censored here.
Couldn't record what just happened because it was so chaotic. As soon as the bus came and the doors opened, everyone in this entire queue rushed onto it like they were getting away from a tsunami or something. People were literally climbing over each other to get into this bus. I think quite a few of them were actually laughing, so maybe they find it kind of funny, but yeah, to us it's a little bit more than we bargained for. But
I don't know what to say. I feel a bit deflated. Over the whole trip, 3.5 weeks in China, I can't help but feel actually a little bit upset because I'm finding it really hard to appreciate what's on the other side of the fence because I kind of can't even barely see it. People everywhere pushing me. There's speakers going off in my ear really loud. It's just completely taken it away.
But it was definitely the most disappointing for sure.
Being brutally honest, it was the worst paid experience we've ever had.
この男性は中国で10年間暮らした後、もう限界だと感じて母国に戻ってきました。10年もの間、夢を追いかけて必死に生きてきたけれど、もうこれ以上は耐えられないと語っています。
One of the cultural differences that people struggle with a lot is the idea in China that you can just stare at people, invade their personal space, and even pick up items out of their shopping trolley. I've experienced all of these things, and when I was living in China, families would just stare at me in the supermarket. They would say, oh, this is what foreigners eat. Look, they love bread and milk, and they would come and pick stuff out of my shopping cart and stuff like that. So there are many things which are very different in China, like the concept of personal space, like the concept of loud noise. Chinese people shout very loudly, they're boisterous, they will bring music into a sauna like this guy was doing here the other day, a Chinese guy who I'm friendly with, but he just brings his iPad in and puts it in the sauna and is blasting out Chinese classical music in the middle of a sauna where there's lots of people. And this is kind of one of the big reasons why I don't anymore, is the annoying habits of Chinese people. And this is tied into the point about cultural differences, but it can just be quite wearing. I was there for 10 years and it just starts to wear on your nerves when people are extremely loud, they spit, they let their kids pee in trash cans or on the street, they don't queue, there's pushing, you know, old grannies will barge you out of the way at a roadside food stall. It's just a bit basic, some of the behavior, some of the habits, the constant clouds of smoke. All of these things have improved in recent years, but there are still a lot of people that haven't been educated because China is largely a rural country.
このカップルは旅行系 YouTuber です。中国を訪れて感じたことを素直に伝えているんですが、彼らが向かったのは張家界という有名な観光地。
God.
There were a lot of people here, like thousands, in this queue that we're in.
到着してすぐ、ものすごい人混みに遭遇します。
I knew it was going to be busy, but I didn't know it was going to be this fast. I'm actually concerned of how long we're going to be in this queue, you know.
何時間も並んでも列の終わりが見えません。
Oh, I thought this was it. I thought we were at the entrance to it, but we've still got an entire corridor to go somehow in a mountain. And look guys, we get that this is a tourist hotspot. It's the most populous country on earth. We never expected it to be quiet or a deserted national park. But at the same time, it is a national park, not a theme park, so they should be limiting the number of tickets that they sell on a daily basis, and they're clearly not doing that. It's now 12:45 and we've seen nothing except for some monkeys.
You know, if you're watching this hoping to come here one day, we have to show you what it is really like. Like, this is honestly what it's like. So just be prepared. Bring your snacks and your water because you're going to need them.
観光地へのエレベーターはたった3機。なのに入場券は無制限に販売するので、遅く着いた人は登ることさえできず、10時間並んだ末に何もできずに帰ることもあるとか。
It's even worse than the first bus queue. We love a good queue in Britain. We invented queuing, but this is on another level. There's hardly any order or management going on. Look at it. Where else can you see this in the world? Having said that, the number of people here does make it incredibly difficult to fully take in the view and enjoy it.
I don't know what to say. I feel a bit deflated. Over the whole trip, 3.5 weeks in China, this day was the day I was looking forward to the most. I can't help but feel actually a little bit upset because I'm finding it really hard to appreciate what's on the other side of the fence because I kind of can't even barely see it. People everywhere pushing me. There's speakers going off in my ear really loud. It's just completely taken it away. So this exact spot here is the spot that I saw on Pinterest that made me want to go here desperately. And this is the reality.
撮影スポットでは割り込みが多くて、結局1時間半待ってようやく1枚撮れました。
Couldn't record what just happened because it was so chaotic. As soon as the bus came and the doors opened, everyone in this entire queue rushed onto it like they were getting away from a tsunami or something. People were literally climbing over each other to get into this bus. I think quite a few of them were actually laughing, so maybe they find it kind of funny, but yeah, to us it's a little bit more than we bargained for, but it was definitely the most disappointing for sure.
Being brutally honest, it was the worst paid experience we've ever had.
この男性は中国で12年間暮らしているジャーナリストです。中国での生活で感じたことを包み隠さず話しています。
Differences here in China, which are freedom of speech and censorship on the internet. Because I make videos about China and I live in China, I'm a little bit more concerned about what I say on camera. Also, because I use the internet every day, just like everyone else, internet censorship is noticeable. Many sites are blocked and you have to use a VPN to access, but they are much stricter on freedom of speech, protests, and internet censorship. I had actually never seen Chinese media in the US when I was living there. I had never heard of CCTV, Xinhua, Global Times, or any other Chinese media before moving to China. What I had heard was that there is no freedom of speech in China and that everything is censored here. Unfortunately, this is kind of true. When I worked in media here, I had to run everything by a censor and even requested a new censor because the one I had was super strict. It seems that they don't really want foreigners anymore. This has gotten really bad over the last 3 years because the media has turned the population against foreigners. Many reports about local outbreaks worded the news to make it seem like foreigners were to blame for the issue. They didn't always clearly explain that the person was a Chinese returning from overseas.
一方、日本に長く住む外国人たちの反応は全く違います。日本在住のアメリカ人たちは、なぜ全てを手放して日本に移住したのかを語るんですが。
What kept you here in Japan? The overwhelming peace and happiness. It's you know the feeling. Like every time anyone I know who's traveled here, they're like, I have to come back. They just want to come back again. They don't even want to go to new places. They're like, I gotta go back to Japan. It's amazing. Even the food, like even when you think you're eating healthy, it's so sad. You'll go out of your way to buy something healthy, and you realize it's not healthy at all. It's like loaded with sugar and all these strange chemicals that you can't even read.
I mean, the politeness, the attention to detail here in Japan is really good. The care for other people, you know, the kizukae, kind of what the Japanese call, you know, that's what makes it really comfortable for me. I consider myself an Oreo. Black on the outside, Japanese on the inside.
I can be walking home from my local station at any time of night and I feel zero fear. Like in America, I always have that in the back of my mind, that fear. I have to be looking around. But I can be walking home, I can be a little tipsy, sleepy, whatever.
So why is it that healthcare is way cheaper in Japan than it is in the US?
Do you know the actual reason?
Yeah, they have socialized medicine, right?
Do you know why they have socialized medicine?
Tell me.
Because America forced them to do it after World War II.
Really?
And yet America doesn't have it. It's quite interesting, actually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
世界中の人々がなぜ日本を訪れたがり、住みたがるのか、その理由は誰にでもわかるはずです。同じアジアなのに、人々の体験はこんなにも違う。秩序、思いやり、システムの違いが、単なる観光を超えて暮らしの質そのものを変えてしまうんです。結局、人は行動で示しています。どこで暮らすか、どこへ向かうか。今日も最後まで見てくれてありがとうございました。